Well, good evening and welcome, family and friends, to another broadcast of Let's Talk About It. As you know, we are talking about information and things that are important to our community. Today is Thursday, October the 29th, 2020, and I am your host, Reverend Edward Mason. Our co host, Dr. Davis, will be joining us in just a few minutes. We are happy to have you sharing with us this evening. And so, if you are sharing with us by way of Facebook, we encourage you to like our page. Also, share it with your family and friends. But then also, you can submit your comments. The comments you can submit, and if you accept the disclaimer, your comments will show up right on the screen. And so we want to say thank you for each of you that are viewing. We do have some information we want to share with you about some changes that are happening that we are excited about to our broadcast. And so stay tuned for that just a little bit later. If you are joining us by way of YouTube, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel and also click the little bell so that you can be notified whenever we come on. It's a great day. It's a great day for us to share. Dr. Davis, welcome to another broadcast of Let's Talk About It.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you inviting me back on. I had missed a couple of times because of the different appointments and all that I had, but I'm glad to be back with you all, and I'm excited about what's going on.
Yes, sir. We're going to talk tonight. There's a lot going on. As each of you know, we are just 5 days now away from election. Election will take place on uh, next Tuesday, November. What's the third or the fourth? Anyway, next Tuesday will be election day, and in fact, over 78 million people, Dr. Davis, have already cast their votes, either by way of absentee mail in voting or by early voting. Over 78 million people. In fact, they're saying that these numbers are more, are at least um, over half than what had voted entirely in the 2016 election. And we've been watching the news, and lines have been stretched down the street and around the corner and wrapped around buildings. Both young and old have been in line casting their votes. We did our voting already casted. We put it in the voting drop box, the official voting drop box, and actually we posted a picture of that on Facebook last week, I believe it was. But we have already voted. And then I went to this week to the Maryland website for voting, and I checked to see if my ballot had been received, and certainly it had been. And so we have done everything that we can do to make sure that we do what is necessary. I know by now, Dr. Davis, you've already voted.
Yes, sir. We've already voted, and we turned it in. Matter of fact, we took it up to the postal service, and they were there, standing out there waiting to inside rather. They were in there waiting to receive it
Mhm.
from those that was bringing it to them. So we have already voted, and I think that people are just fed up, and that's why they're trying to get the early voting in because they're trying to make sure that their vote matter. And so I'm hoping that everybody is taking this election serious this time, more so than what they did in 2016, because it's urgent and it's necessary in order for the soul of our nation to survive.
Yes, sir. And in fact, they are suggesting now that if you have a absentee ballot, that you do not put it in the mail, that you
Right.
take it directly and drop it into one of the voting boxes. I talked to a young man on this week, and who said that the mail is so slow. He said that he received a check in the mail. He didn't say who it was from. He said, but the check had been mailed to him in August, and he just received the check. So the post office is backed up quite the contrary of what the Postmaster General said when he was called into Congress to be questioned about the tactics and the slowing down of the mail. And so, again, as you all know, this election is crucial. This election is important, and I trust that by now you have already prepared yourself. And there are some folk who just want to do it physically. I understand that. They just want to make sure that they get out there and touch the machine and register their vote mechanically, and I understand that as well. However, there are some of us that do not want to take the chance of interacting with other people just to vote when we have options available to us. And so I'm saying, regardless of whether you submit your ballot through absentee, or whether you go and stand in the line for early voting, or whether you're planning on voting on Tuesday, the bottom line is vote, vote, vote. I will not tell you who to vote for. I think that you should be wise enough to evaluate each candidate based on their merits, and vote based on your conscience, based on the issues. But the fact of the matter is, make sure that you vote. Any words you want to say to that, Dr. Davis?
Yes, sir. And if they have any questions about who to vote for, tell them to call me 717-356-1223, and we can discuss it. And I would definitely tell you who to vote for. But I think it's obvious now that everyone know who to vote for. I think it's obvious with the last 4 years of this country where we've been dealing with. I think it's obvious that everybody knows what we need to do to get this country back on track, at least some kind of guidance and back on track. But right now, everything is running haywire with the president we have. So yes, we need to take this voting serious. People have died for the right to vote. People have lost their lives in order for us to have the privilege to vote. And so I'm asking that everybody take it serious, get out and vote. As Mason have said, it's late now to be putting your vote in the mail. Some areas I know up here in PA, I understand they're giving you 6 weeks. I mean, excuse me, 6 days after the election date. So you got 6 days after November the 3rd. But if you're in other states, I'm not sure exactly how long they're giving you to get the mailing vote in. But if you can't do that, please go to the polling center and vote, because we need you to vote. We need you to vote, and we need you to vote. It's imperative that we really get a chance to vote.
Well, Dr. Davis, it's interesting because even this evening, before we came on, we were listening to the news, and they were talking about another state where the court has ruled that ballots must be in by the end of election night in order to be counted. It is obvious that some trickery is going on in various states, and they're changing the rules all of a sudden on when ballots can be in, and that sort of thing. And so we encourage each of you, listen, take the time, do the right thing, as Dr. Davis has said, to cast your vote. It is so important. We know that this is the way it's looking, that it's probably going to wind up because Trump is going to contest the results. And so we're saying make sure that you submit your ballot and do what you need to do to make sure that your vote is counted. Um, Listen, it's amazing. It's really amazing the length and the extent that some have gone to try to do voter intimidation. Um,
Yeah,
they
yes,
they've even put in some states they've put false ballot boxes out to collect the votes, the voting absentee ballots. In fact, I think Dr. Davis, you and I were talking about in the news. You said that there was a young man that had taken one of the
yes.
election boxes. Tell us about that a little bit, Dr. Davis.
Yes, sir. On the news, they were saying, and I'm trying to think of what state it was, because they said that the one of the police saw a young man pick up the voting box, hoisted and pushed it up onto his truck, and the police pulled him over, asked him what was he doing with the box. Could he see some identification that he's qualified to handle the box or to be dealing with that box? And he had none. And so they arrested him on the scene um, of moving the box, the voter box. And once again, I'm just saying this because Trump and his, I think they call them poor boys or poor boy. I can't think of what they call them, but anyway, it's
Proud,
amazing how he got
proud,
these
proud
people.
boys, I think. Proud boys.
That's it. That's it. The Proud Boys. How he got these people under his thumb and controlling them to do crazy stuff. And so once again, you got to make sure you do it and you do it in a way that your vote is counted. Every state is different, and every state has different rules. And like I said, I know that up here, Governor Wolf have already made it known through the courts that on November the 3rd, we have 6 days after that, being that Pennsylvania is such a big state, that you have 6 days to make sure that your ballot is in after from November the 3rd. So once again, every state is different, and find out your state laws and find out what's your deadline, because you have to do it. You have to do it. You have to get it in.
Yes, because some states, I believe the issue is it must be postmarked by the end
No,
of the
right,
voting day.
right,
Although it may take a couple days for it to actually get its way to the election bureau.
right.
But again, we encourage you to check your your states and find out what your jurisdiction is. And so it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing uh,
Yes,
what we are experiencing. And there is a lot at stake in this election. Uh,
yes, yes,
and believe me, we will not know for real the far reaching effects of this election probably for another 5 to 10 years. The deep rooted effects of
yes,
the election. I'm not
yes,
talking about what's on the surface. We know who's running, but we will probably not know the deep rooted effects of
yes,
election for some years. But
yes,
believe me,
yes,
it is a very, very, very important election. And Dr. Davis, it's not just important as far as the presidential selections, but it
right.
is also important for the down what they call the down ballots, down the ballot. You've got in
Yes,
some states, you've got senators that are running as it stands.
yep,
Um, the Republicans control the Senate,
yep,
and if there are a few seats that may be in jeopardy, and if in fact the Democrats can hold what they have and gain three more seats, then
right,
they stand in position to take over the Senate. Uh,
right,
right now, from my last check, they're saying that there are up to 7 Senate seats that are currently in
Right.
play that the Democrats have the opportunity to flip those seats from Republican to Democrat. And not only do we have Senate seats up for grab, but even right here in our local community in Baltimore City, we have the mayor race that's up. You've got 3 candidates that are running. You have a Democrat, you have a Republican, and you have a independent. Now, and I will say that we did reach out to the Republican and the independent candidates. I never heard anything back from the Republican candidate. The independent candidate, his office did contact me or respond to my inquiry on 3 different occasions. However, they still have not confirmed or made in a schedule for us to be able to talk to them. So this is one of my concerns, Dr. Davis, that I have is when individuals that serve in elected office, when they are too busy to meet with or talk with the everyday person.
Right.
I know they frequent the mainstream medias. They frequent the big names,
Right.
but they forget that the small people have a lot of contacts.
Right. That's right.
Small people have a lot of people that they know
That's right.
that in many cases can make the difference in their being elected or not elected.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes. And they
so
should be the public um, the public people or the public office. They should make themselves available for the small people as well as those big broadcasting stations. Sometimes, as you saying, they'll be surprised of the connections that one have, and therefore they should be concerned enough to say, "Well, yeah, let me contact them. Let me try to get on and speak my mind, and hopefully it'll get out to others." But sometimes they just disregard us little fellows because we're not well known and all of that kind of stuff. But once again, they're only hurting themselves.
well, one of the things that it does for them is it lets people know that they are in touch with the everyday person.
Right,
They let them know that. Uh,
right,
People say, "Oh, well, if they took the time to talk to this one or took the time to talk to that one, then they are in touch." And
right.
so it's important. It's important. One of the things that I have shared with some other people, and brother Kobe just replied. He's 10 years old, and he
Okay.
replied, "I agree." I think you know brother Kobe, Dr. Davis. Uh, he
Yeah.
he said, "I agree." He let us know that he agreed with what we're saying.
Right.
So here is the thing. Um, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step.
That's right.
One step. And so we cannot ever or should not ever minimize the effects of the everyday common person. Now, I do understand and recognize that schedules are tight. And when you're running for election and you're trying to do things, you're very busy and you have a limited time. But I do think that it is important that the persons that you have handling your schedule
Yep.
should make sure that they respond to people that are interested in hearing what you have to say.
Yep.
A
That's
lot
right.
of times that makes a difference in whether or not you can swing someone your way to possibly cast a vote for you. And so I think that we should always be concerned. I try to return all of my phone calls, messages that are left for me, and emails. Even if I'm not able to talk for an extended period of time. I let them know that I did get their message, and I will return their call at another time where we could talk at length. If at that time my time is limited, my emails, I try to make sure that I respond to folk as it relates to emails, and make sure that I give them what they need, because it's important. It's important for us to respond to individuals. So, one of the things we encourage you to do, if you would like to know more information about what we do, how we do it, and how to reach us, you can certainly email us at yes, let's talk about it, the number one at gmail.com. That's yes, let's talk about it, the number one at gmail.com. And certainly you can submit to us your comments, your concerns, your questions, or perhaps there's something that you would like to see in an upcoming show, or a situation that you would like for us to address. We're currently, as I said before, working on some changes to our format where we could be bringing you more information, doing some things differently with how we bring across our broadcast, and adding some different components. Dr. Davis, we've been working. We've been working. We've been working. We've been working. We're working on something even for next year.
Okay.
Already January. We are working. We are working, trying to make sure that we stay relevant to the community, stay relevant to our brothers and sisters, our constituents. We want to make sure that we stay relevant. And so, as we've already shared with you, over 78 million people have already voted in this country already. And we still have 5 days left to go. And so, we encourage you once again, make sure that you get out and vote. Do whatever's necessary. Again, if you have a absentee ballot, we are suggesting, as they are suggesting, that at this point, do not mail your ballot, but take it and drop it directly in an official election ballot box to make sure that you are counting. All right, let's kind of swing just a little bit. As you are aware, this is the end of the month. Today is the 29th, but it is also Breast Cancer Month. And I know several people who have been diagnosed with breast cancer and have survived. And so we encourage you, it's not too late to make appointments to have your testing, mammograms, do self examinations, and Dr. Davis, this is important. We don't talk about it that much, but men
Yep.
run a risk of breast cancer as well.
Yep. That's right. And I'm scheduled to go in uh, on in November for a checkup rather, to get checked out on some things because my mother passed away with colon cancer, father passed away with prostate cancer, and once again, what my doctor was saying is that when you hit a certain age, you have to check the entire body out. You have to check everything in your body because I'm suffering with enlarged thyroid. So they're going to check that out to see if that's as last time I had it checked, it was negative, but they're going to check to see if it has become positive. I'm due for a colonoscopy. I'm due for all these different checked up and all that because I'm at that age now. So they're telling me that I have to get checked up as often as I can, which is like maybe a year, 2 years apart of anything. So once again, it's very important. It's very important that you get yourself checked out. The women need to go have a mammogram done for breast cancer, get themselves checked out, and you might feel good. You might feel all right, but once again, get yourself checked out anyway, just to be sure. And so once again, then they will set up a schedule, or they should be setting up a schedule so you can get checked more often, and they'll tell you how often you should get checked up. Basically, I think it depends on your age. And if you're above 55 or something like that, they might tell you every 5 years or 10 years. I know at my age, they're saying now I should be checked out at least maybe 2 to 3 years, and what have you. So get yourself checked out. It's very important that you check yourself out. And I'm saying it because no matter how young you are, get yourself checked out and be able to live a little while longer without any surprises in your life. And
Well,
so,
just like you, I have an appointment for the end of this year to do my annual physical as I normally do. We have already done our colonoscopy this year. We did that earlier this year, so we're good for that. But we take our annual physical every year where we have get our blood work done and things like that checked and all of that kind of stuff. So I encourage each of you to make sure that you do what is necessary to take care of your health. And let me say this, women, don't be afraid. Don't laugh at this now. Don't be afraid to solicit the help of your partner for your breast self exam.
mhm,
I'll let y'all read between the lines on that. But don't be afraid to
that's right.
help
That's right.
or the participation from your partner, your
That's right.
spouse, your husband. Uh, I don't like to use this term, but it's true. Your significant other uh,
Right.
for your breast examination. It may help you down. it may
That's right.
it may help you down later on during the course of the day.
That's right.
So if you need to solicit the help of your partner, then do so. But
That's right.
whatever it takes to make sure that you are being protected. Well,
Right. Right.
move on from that to COVID-19. Dr. Davis, we cannot get away from COVID-19. As we, or some of you may or may not know, as of right now, there are over 227,000 people that have lost their lives to COVID 19 so far. And now the numbers are going up in almost every state, I think, with the exception of five. I think today was another record high day, or yesterday was another record high day of COVID cases reported. Over 70,000 cases reported on yesterday alone.
Yep.
Over 70,000 cases reported on yesterday alone. Let me say that again. Over 70,000 cases of COVID 19 were reported on yesterday, which was um, Wednesday alone. And so they're saying in some states they're running into the issue with running out of beds in the hospitals, Dr. Davis. Uh,
Yes, sir. I did.
I've got some friends that I know, some personal friends that I know that have contracted the virus. Some of them have experienced some very challenging situations. Some of them have ended up on a respirator. I mean, these are people that I know personally. And then some of them have dealt with mild symptoms. But the bottom line is, listen, it is affecting everybody.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
affecting everybody. And
Yes.
227,000 people dead already is a major, major, major problem. And we see
Yes.
what the White House is doing, what they're attempting to do to talk about they have turned the curve and all of this kind of stuff. Listen, Dr. Davis, it is so bad that Dr. Brex, uh,
Right.
who is supposed to be on the COVID pandemic team,
Right.
has now stop worrying about press conferences at the White House, and she has taken her message to the streets. Uh,
right,
Already, she has visited over 40 states, taking the message of wearing masks and hand washing and social distancing. She's even going in the supermarkets and the stores and challenging people that she see that are not wearing protective masks to do so,
right,
all in an attempt to try to slow down as we're saying the spread of this virus, because we do not, as of yet, have a vaccine.
right. That's right. And it's not coming no time soon. I don't know why. I don't know why this man in the White House keeps saying, "Oh, it's coming. It's coming. The vaccine is coming." I'm just telling you up front, it's not coming. And if it's coming, you better beware of not taking it so soon. Don't be the first guinea pig to jump on it to take it, because once again, as Dr. Fauci has said, it has to be proven. It has to make sure that it has no side effects to it that's going to be detrimental to your health. And so once again, these people are so eager to get it, but yet they don't know what they're going to get. I mean, once again, it's a shame and it's a disgrace. But once again, Dr. Fauci is trying to tell people the truth. Dr. Burks is trying to tell people the truth. The mask is necessary. Washing your hands, using the bacterial soap and all this stuff. All this stuff is necessary. And once again, this man keep trying to play it down in the White House, talking about it's going to the curve, it's hitting the curve now, it's going, and everybody keeps saying, what curve is he talking about? Because once again, it's starting to spike up. And the same thing up here in PA, it's starting to spike back up. And all over the country, it's starting to spike back up. So what curve is he talking about? Is he talking about his wife Melania curves? She ain't got much curves there either. I'm just trying to figure out what curves is he talking about, because it's not rounding the curve.
Well, Dr. Davis, listen, not only is that misleading information, but both he and the vice president, both of them are not even following their own
Yep.
guideline recommendations.
Yes.
It's now been reported that there's been another breakout in the White House amongst senior staff persons. It has also been reported that persons of the vice president's um, advisors, I think at least five of them so far that we know of, have contracted the virus
Right.
recently. And they, both of them, are still going out and campaigning in large
Yes.
crowds when,
Yes.
according to their own
Yep.
recommendations, that if you come in contact with someone, that you should self quarantine for a minimum of 14 days.
Exactly.
Now, now it's just mind blowing. And then you have already some people that have been associated with a couple of the large rallies that the president held last week that have now come down with it. I'm not even going to talk about the fact that some people got sick that were left out on the tarmac,
Yep.
one of the rallies, and in a bitter cold. Uh,
Yep.
then some other things happened. I heard today some folk were sick and were passing out. Somebody was telling me about it at a
Yep.
rally. Uh,
Yep.
it was so hot or something like that. Listen, here is the thing. Where is the reality check of individuals about their own lives and their own health? How is it that we just disregard information from the scientists, disregard information from the professionals, and we listen to people? In fact, the guy that's now giving the direction from the White House, although he is a physician, He is not a epidemiologist.
Exactly.
He is not bona fide and certified in the area in which he's giving instructions and giving advice to the president and his council on things that ought to be done.
Yep.
And yet we have people that are putting their lives, their family lives, their parents, their grandparents, their children. Because what happens is you go and you get involved, you solicit yourself with these other people, and then you come back to your household. You come
Yep.
back to your family. You come back to those you love. And even people around in your job and your employment, you come back to these individuals and you spread what
Yep.
you have amongst them. And as we
Yep.
already have been notified, is that persons can be asymptomatic for days,
That's right.
still have the ability to spread the virus.
Yep. That's right. That's right. And it's a shame because once again, you're looking at the president of the United States and the vice president who's supposed to be setting examples for others, who should be listening to those who are in charge of disease and infectious disease, and all these kind of people, and yet they themselves refuse to wear the mask once again, and they're putting other folks in jeopardy. And this is why I don't understand for the life of me how in the world these people can follow this man and continue to do this. It reminds me, Mason, of Jim Jones. I don't know if you remember Jim Jones. You might not be old enough
Oh
to
yeah,
remember Jim Jones.
over in Guyana.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. When he had captivated these people's minds, and they were willing to follow him and then take this poison because he said so. I mean, it's just ludicrous to me. It
That's
really is.
that's where the term comes that they use a lot. Drink the Kool Aid. That's where the term comes from. That
Oh, okay.
now the interesting thing you brought that up. Those people that he got to go with him over to Guyana and
Right.
that compound. Um, I was good friends with a gentleman named, and you knew him, Abraham Ajita, who was from Guyana.
Right. Right.
And the information that I received from him was that all of those people that killed themselves, he said not one of those persons was a Guyanese. All of those persons were people from America that he persuaded to come over.
Wow.
He said because other nations, for the most part, they don't participate in that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's only Americans who feel that we are so intelligent and so smart until we outsmart ourselves.
Exactly. Exactly. And we get caught up in some kind of cult or some kind of pledge or commitment to folk and all that. I only pledge my life to one, and his name is Jesus Christ. I can't pledge my life to nobody else but Jesus Christ. And I'm just trying to figure out why in the world do we have these folk in America who listen to nonsense and they really to follow it? I mean, it's just it like I said, it blows my mind.
Well, there's a lot going on that we need to pay attention to. We know that the crime in Baltimore City is escalating with the violence, and it is just mind blowing uh,
Right,
going on in the city of Baltimore. Not just in the city of Baltimore, but around the country. As you know, Dr. Davis, just a day before yesterday in Philadelphia, a young man and was fatally shot and killed. I believe he was shot 10 times.
yeah.
Shot. He was hit 10 times. They shot
Yep.
14 times at him, but he was hit 10 times. A young man who lost his life, and it's reported from having a mental health crisis.
Right.
Now, I know that they're still investigating um, However, from the initial report that I have heard, is that this was the third time in one day that help was called for this young man. In fact, this time, from my understanding, they didn't even call for the police, they called for an ambulance.
Right.
From my understanding, police had been there twice earlier that day. And so I don't know if you've seen the video, Dr. Davis, but I have seen the video. Uh,
Yeah.
It actually shows the young man. Now he did, in all fairness, he did have a weapon. He had a
Right.
knife. I don't know the size of the knife. I don't know because you couldn't see it that well in
Right.
the video. But it is declared that he had a knife. And so they have said that neither one of the officers had tasers. But the question that I have is, and as many people have had, is, and his mother was there screaming and shouting the
Yeah.
whole time. She was
Yes.
telling him that he had was having a mental, a health mental crisis,
Right.
and they did not try to disarm him, even maybe with shooting him in the arm or in the leg or something like that. And certainly they didn't have to shoot him 10 times.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Certainly they didn't have to do that. Um, but again, we have to remember that these officers, they put their lives on the line and they have to make split second decisions, and we understand that. I am not against the police in general. Let me be
Right.
clear. I am not against the police in general. What I am against is unfair practices that are demonstrated by some police officers.
Well, the question I have, I saw three police, and you trying to tell me three men, three police couldn't take down one 21-year-old boy?
Well, the question I think is not, well, and I guess it's not even a question. The statement is they didn't do
Right. Okay.
it. Your
Yeah,
question,
that makes
your question
right.
is, could three police officers,
Right.
should they have the ability, should they
Right.
have had the ability to take him down?
Right.
And of course, we would say, yes, they should have had the ability. I
That's
mean,
right.
they have. Now, nobody in their right mind brings a knife to a
Right.
gunfight,
That's right. That's right.
right?
That's
So,
right.
didn't have tasers. Where was their mace?
Right.
Where was their
That's
mace?
right.
Where
That's
was
right.
where was there? And we don't like to talk about this or use this, but where was their nightstick?
Right. That's right.
They
That's what I'm saying.
they had
It's to
they had
me.
they should have had options
Right.
that they could have resorted to de-escalate it
Yes.
before they got to lethal force.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I mean,
And I'm not for defunding the police, but I think they really need to be retrained. That's what I believe. I think they need to be retrained because too many police, for some reason, is just ready to pull out the gun and shoot because once again they think that's the way to escape it. I'm saying, where's your life in danger? The man has a knife. You should be able to take him down. You got three officers, two other officers there with you. You don't have to take a gun out and shoot him 10 times. Or why not shoot him in the leg? But had he been a white person, do you think they would handle it different?
well, we have seen cases where we know that has happened. We have documented videos that show where that has happened.
Thank you.
We
Thank
know for a fact that
thank you.
different results happen based on who individuals are. Uh,
Right.
all I'm saying is, so now you have another family who's grieving, and then to make matters worse, you have some individuals in the midst of their protesting have
Yes.
become violent. And from my understanding, a couple police officers have gotten injured in
Yes.
Philadelphia. They've called for mutual aid from surrounding counties. And let me again be clear, I am not an advocate for violence and
Right.
destruction.
That's right.
We say it and say it clear. I'm
Right.
not an advocate, nor do I promote, nor do I condone violence, disruption against the law.
Yep.
I am not a supporter of that. I do believe in peaceful demonstration. I do believe in peaceful protest, but
Yes.
looting and destruction of property and injuring other persons is against the law.
Yes. Yes.
The law,
Yes. That's
and
right.
you are just as much a criminal as someone else.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Um,
that's why I say they need to be retrained. They really need to be retrained because it's to me, it's not necessary to take out a gun every time you meet a black man and just shoot him. I mean, you need to be retrained to be able to talk to him, have some kind of knowledge to say, okay, let me deal with this. He might be a psychopath. He might be on the binge or whatever you might call it. He might have a mental problem. So we need to be able to talk to these people, to bring them down, to calm them down, to bring down the hype. Because if he's carrying a knife, he's waving at him or whatever he was doing with it. I mean, I saw his hand, but I don't know how big the knife was. But once again, I'm just saying, to me, to sit there and just shoot the guy, just shoot him. And when I saw it on the matter of fact, I think you're the one who sent it to me, I think. And when I saw it, and I'm like, what? I mean, gosh, and they got pow, 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 pow. I'm like, are you serious? But this is the world. This is how crazy things are in the world in which we live today. And it's a shame. It's a disgrace, um, for America to be 2020 and for us to be acting like this now. It's a disgrace.
well, part of what we are discovering, and I'm saying we, I'm talking about the community at large, Dr. Davis. And I'm not saying that this is relevant to this situation, but this COVID-19 has brought about some mental stress on a lot of people. um, Mental stress. Folk have been isolated. They have been in their homes. Some of them have lost their jobs. Students and kids have been confined to their homes for home learning. It has been stressful on a lot of people. And so we were able to receive some information from Baltimore County that I want to share with our viewers this evening. If you are in, especially in Baltimore County, I'm not sure about other counties, but I know if you are in Baltimore County, I am encouraging you to get this information as we have it up on the screen. Baltimore County has some help that is available. It's right there. This flyer says, has COVID-19 impacted your household? And there is a whole list of things that you can get help for. You can call 410-887-3816. And from my understanding, Dr. Davis, other ethnicities are taking advantage of the program and the help that's being offered more than African American communities. From my understanding, from the report that I got or received, that we
Okay.
are at the bottom of the list as far as reaching out and obtaining help or the the assistance from these programs. Again, representatives are available Monday to Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on Sundays from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. They do have bilingual staff available for you when you call. Again, the number is 410 887 3816. And I know that is specifically for Baltimore County. And so I'm not sure what all of the different services that are being offered, but I know there are a variety of services that are being offered. And so I encourage you, if you are having some issues, if your family has been impacted, your household has been impacted, please give them a call. Give them a call and see what help is available to you. Also, let me share with you this information as it relates to receiving help. There is a resource guide that is available for individuals. The same thing, individuals that need help. There's a resource guide that give you information on dealing with the COVID-19, and there's a whole list of partners that Baltimore County has, as you can see on the flyer there. Now, listen, if you would like to have this information in your hands, you can email me at yes, let's talk about it, and I will forward these flyers to you. I will forward them to you so that you would have that information. And I've got one more flyer I want to share with you, and I think that it's relevant because they are saying that domestic violence and all those kind of things are also creating problems for individuals. And so there is a flyer that talks about how you can get help if you are having what they call extreme risk protective orders. How to file for an extreme risk protective order. Because we know during this time, because kids are not in school, that they're not able to, nobody is able to see them like they normally would, Dr. Davis.
Right.
Teachers would normally be able to see bruises and stuff like that on children, but because they are not in school, they're not readily able to be seen. Because people are not going to work, they're not readily able to see those things. And so these guides are available if you email us. If you email us and let us know that you would like to have them or to see them, to have access to them, we will certainly provide that information to you. Once again, you need to email us. Email us at the email address on the screen. Yes, let's talk about it. The number one at gmail.com. And I will see to it that you get these flyers, this information. And I know that information is primarily for Baltimore County. However, if you call them, uh, I'm sure that they can let you know if you're not in Baltimore County, they can let you know or put you in contact with someone that can help you in the area in which you live. And I know that there is somebody that is reaching out to us from our Facebook page. However, we are not able to see your information. I have no idea who you are, but I do see something popped up on our comments section. But again, in order for us to see you, you have to accept the disclaimer from StreamYard. Um, but anyway, that information is available. If you reach out to us by way of our email address, we will see to it that you get that information. Dr. Davis, we are currently working on some changes that will take place in our broadcast. I want to share with you, our viewing audience, that probably beginning on the first Thursday in November, which is probably next Thursday, we will no longer broadcast on our regular uh, um, Facebook page. However, we will continue to broadcast on our Yes, Let's Talk About It Facebook group page. Uh, so we'll be on the group page, but we won't be on our regular normal Facebook page under 1 hour to live. I'm
Okay.
trying to bring things in. We did all of that when we first started to get the word out, to let folk know what we were doing and where we were going with what the Lord had blessed us with. But now what we're doing is trying to streamline. We're still going to be continue on our YouTube channel, but we're not going to broadcast on our regular, what we have been doing, 1 hour to live Facebook page, but we will be broadcasting on the Let's Talk About It group page. So if you're on the 1 hour to live Facebook page, then you need to join the Let's Talk About It group page, so that you will be able to get the broadcast. As you can see, we are working on some things. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but Dr. Davis, we have some shirts that we have. Um, Perhaps you can see the shirt that I'm wearing, that has the
Right.
logo on it right here. Let's talk about it. That we are having. So we're trying to do something that's called branding. And so we're trying to continue with the brand, so that we can get ready to do bigger and better things. Also, for those who do not know, we do have now a lapel pin that is available, and we're looking to do something spectacular where we can make sure that individuals get their lapel pin, get shirts. We have T-shirts, as some of you all have seen, so that we can get ready to take what we're doing to another level. I am so happy that you are a part of what we're doing. So happy that you've taken the time, and I want you to know that we appreciate you. We do not take you for granted. We encourage you to be a part of it. Send us your feedback, send us your comments, your concerns, and let us know. Let us know that you are being helped. The information is helping you. Let us know. We want to know about it. We want to know. We want to make sure that we're providing you with the information that can help you to continue and be a blessing to your family. Dr. Davis, once again, it's
Thank
great.
you, sir, and thank you. And I'm asking all the people out there, please go vote. Continue to stand strong that we may continue to overcome what's going on in our country. And I pray that the Lord will continue to bless each and every one of you. Thank you again, Reverend Mason. Thank you.
Thank you again, Dr. Davis. We look forward to next week broadcast and some new things that is going to be happening. Stay tuned. Keep your ears to the ground. Things are happening. Things are changing. All for the better, because we want to make sure that we are doing what we need to do to help you. All right. Until next week, we'll see you.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, everybody.